Welcome, everybody. This is Arithmetic Cyber Chats. We do this every weekend, every Friday from 7 to 8. And today we're probably going to try and end it before 8, maybe some 15 minutes or 20 minutes because it's a holiday weekend. And we are still continuing with our series on cybersecurity scholarships and grants. And today we will really look at a whole list and show you where you can, do your research and find these scholarships and funds and grants, because they are out there. There are a lot of them out there. You just have to have the patience and just to go through and search. I think like that is the price that you are going to pay for the money that you're going to get for cybersecurity education. But before we move into that, I think one of almost 5 or 7 one of like the past 7 meetings, or if maybe a month ago or a month and a half, we looked at the CyberSec. We are looking at cybersecurity in general. If you are new to cybersecurity and you want to find a place where you can get in real time data about cybersecurity, this is the place to come. CyberSec is maintained partly by some government agencies, and what they do is they track cybersecurity employment within the United States in real time, right? And they also have like a list of educational programs and places where you can get cybersecurity training. They also have something similar to a career path, right? It's not the full-blown career path, but at least something to start you off on, right? And for everybody who's taking our free course, we took you through this, so at least you are familiar with this. But this site it's a living document, so it's not static. Everything on there changes by day. So we will start with what they call the heat map. So the heat map, if you come to the site, this is it, cybersec.org. With the heat map, you just click on the heat map. It brings you to the map of the United States. And with a map of the United States, you can see when you put your mouse, or if you put your cursor over each state, it shows you exactly in real time what the demand or the job opening for cybersecurity professionals, are in that state. So if you take, let's say Pennsylvania, there is almost 20,000 job openings over there. If you take West Virginia, 1,500. If you take Virginia itself, 53,000, right? And then when you scroll down here, it gives you overall for the United States. This is the cybersecurity job openings that are in the United States. So they are looking for people to fill these jobs, the positions that are open, right? And one question that I had from somebody last week was, well, if there is this high demand, why is it difficult for people to get a job in cybersecurity? Well, in IT, it is usually not very easy to get a job. And the reason why that I'm saying that is that IT is the only industry that you normally will go through like 3 interviews before you actually employed. Now, when it comes to cybersecurity, it takes like 20% more for, if it takes, let's say maybe 30 days for a normal IT position to be filled, it will take cybersecurity a little bit more, like 20% more of that time to fill it. Because guess what? What you are going to be doing in that position, you are going to help the organization to be safe. So they want to be sure that you actually have the knowledge and the skills to help them do that, right? So it takes a little bit longer to fill cybersecurity positions, even though they are in dire need of somebody. That doesn't mean they are going to pick you if you don't prove beyond reasonable doubt to them that you have the skills and the knowledge, right? So that is why, even though like the demand is high, still for them to pick somebody is a bit slower. And for people who have gotten jobs already on here, they can attest to that. You go through at least 3 interviews, right, before you really get the nod to start working in the industry. So this is overall for the United States. About 3 months ago, it was almost like 490,000. It reduced. About a year ago, it was 500,000. It dropped to 490. Now it's at 597, almost 600,000, right? And the number keeps going back and forth. And this is being tracked in real time, right? So if I tell you there is a demand for cybersecurity professionals, it's not just me saying it. And with this heat map, you can even narrow it down to your metro area. So you can click on it, it shows you your metro area, right? So wherever you are at, you can really see for yourself, okay, this is the demand for cybersecurity professionals in your area. So, and then also in the free training, you know, we talked about the different areas of cybersecurity. There's the 7 major areas of cybersecurity. So these 7 major areas, they are all listed here, and by the major area, it shows you the demand or the job openings in that area, right? Mostly with the investigate side is a bit low, but you can look at it any which way that you want to look at it, glass half full or glass, you know, half empty. So depending on which area that you want to, and mostly for somebody starting off at the entry level, your training and your skills should qualify you to work in almost any of these areas, right? As an entry level professional. Now, as you move into the intermediate, now you can specialize and, okay, you know, pick an area and just, you know, master that area as you're moving along. But your mastery of any of these areas will depend on your foundation at the entry level, okay? And if we want to look at career path, you just click on career path, it will bring you here. So these are not all the job titles within cybersecurity, not by any measure, right? This is just like 4 or 5 of it, right? So for career path, they have it, you know, broken down into 4. So the feeder roles are roles that you can, you know, easily jump from into cybersecurity. So networking, software development, system engineering, financial and risk analysis, and intelligence, security intelligence, IT support. So any of these areas are roles that you can easily jump from these roles into cybersecurity. That is not to say all other areas or all other fields, they might not be able to jump into cybersecurity. Okay, so Thomas had a question. Are the grants and scholarships for the corporate world only for cybersecurity? So I'll give you all that information about like where to even search for those scholarships. So they are not limited to just cybersecurity, right? For any type of education, you will be able to get it. So I will show everybody that today as we are moving along. But we're just going through this quickly whilst we were still allowing people into the meeting. Okay, so for entry-level roles, they have some of the job titles: cybersecurity specialist, cybercrime analyst, incident response intrusion analyst, IT auditor, right? And these, when you click on it, it shows you the job openings in that area for the job title, cybersecurity specialist. Average salary is 99,652. This is for an entry-level role. So if, you know, somebody says, hey, for cybersecurity, even at the entry level, the salary is around maybe 85 to 90. It's not, they are not BS, and this is in real time, right? And also one good place that you can find that info is the labor statistics. I'll probably find that site and also put it on there. That is like a purely government site that tracks jobs and their average salaries. So I think on the last time I checked, it was 110 for cybersecurity. The main job title that they had there was information security analyst, right? For cybercrime 98, they have 1,195. For intrusion or incident response or incident analyst 86. So, and also when you put your mouse over it or your cursor over it, you see that they have arrows leading into the intermediate or mid-level area. That shows you that you can jump from this position to all these other positions in the intermediate or mid-level area. And then also if you come to that side and you put it on there, it also shows you where you can come from the entry level into that position, and then also where you can go from there, right? So this is a really good site that you can play around with. Okay, so I highly recommend it to everybody to go and take a look at it. It's cybersec.org, very simple. So take a look at it and play around with it and try to do some research on your own and stuff like that. And also for educational institutions, if you click on here, last time research, Arithmetic was in this list. So they have by location, Like, you know, if you are trying to choose a school, some of the schools are listed on here. So this is going to be it for the CyberSec side. We are going to jump into the scholarship side now. So any questions on what we just looked at? If not, then we're just going to move forward. All right, everybody. So now we are officially starting the scholarship side. This is Arithmetic Cyber Chat once again. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm going to be your host. And this is my little bio. Not everything I've ever done. I've done way more than that, but that is my little bio. And for all our veterans on here, it's Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. For everybody on here, I know Kwame, Captain AJ, and I don't know everybody else's background, but if you serve, thank you for your service. And if you have any relative who served, still thank you for your service, because it's not easy to have your relatives, like especially spouse, or maybe immediate family serve. It takes a toll on the entire family. So thank you for your service, everybody who has served or has family who has served. So today's discussion, we're still going to look at a little background, and then we will jump into the corporate, and then stateside, we are going to go to the exact websites that you can go to get everything stateside when it comes to government scholarships from the states, okay? And okay, so there is a question. If I pause a little bit, that means there was something in the chat. Okay, so today's chat, we are going to look at the scholarships. We did last week look at the government scholarships, purely just government, right? And last week, I sent out the link. I don't know how many people were able to take a look and take advantage of that. The FedVet, that site had some free training on there, so they were not going to necessarily give you money, but it's still a form of a scholarship if they are giving you free training. And they had like a whole catalog, almost 800 courses there. So, you know, if you've not taken a look at it, when we send out the email for this one, we're still going to add the last week's links to it, right? So for scholarships, for cybersecurity education, education and training in cybersecurity or in IT can be expensive. And likely enough, there are a lot of scholarships out there, right? And, you know, somebody was asking me, so what is the catch to all these scholarships that are out there? Well, the catch, there is always a catch to something. Sometimes there is not necessarily like a catch to it that is going to be detrimental to you. But the catch to any organization, sponsoring anybody within the organization or outside the organization to go do anything, school or whatever, that organization, whatever money they are spending, they are going to get it back in tax returns. So that is the catch. They are helping you, but at the same time, you know, they are going to get their money back. Now, if that is the case, then why is every company not doing it? Because they just don't want to do it. Okay, so the ones who are doing it, we have to give them a thumbs up, because they don't have to do it, but they are doing it. And also it looks good on their corporate like portfolio, right? So they can say, hey, we sponsored this number of people to get into cybersecurity. We sponsored this number of people to get into accounting, right? But at the end of the day, they're going to write it off when it comes to tax season, right? So they're going to get that money back, and even probably even more, right? So that is the catch. But now to you, you just have to take advantage of it and then use it. Now, some companies will require you to come back and work for them. And for like the government side, it was also the same. I had another question. Somebody was like hesitant to apply for the government scholarship, the S for a service. I think it's service for scholarship or scholarship for service, because they thought when you are done and you have to come back and work for the government, you are going to work for free. None of these scholarships will require you to come back and work for free. You are coming back to work and you are going to get paid, okay? So I think it's a win-win, because if you are going to school and you know for sure, if I stay with it and I go through and I'm done, my job is assured, right? And somebody is also paying for the school. I don't think there is any loss to you in that situation, right? So they are going to employ you and pay you. So reason why, especially on the cybersecurity side and in IT, when they sponsor you, they want you to come and work for them, is there is a shortage of cybersecurity professionals, right? So they are not going to train you and give you to somebody else to use. They will train you and keep you for a while for you to at least, in their own, measurement, you've kind of paid your dues, but you are still getting paid regardless, right? So they sponsor your school, you are still getting paid. Now, so, but some organizations wouldn't require you to come back and work for them. All that will be determined on how much money they are spending on you and whatever program that they have and what their own like human resource strategy is. Okay. So for the scholarships, they are not, it's not like you just apply and then they'll just give you that money. Some of it, they'll give you the money. Others, the money will be paid to the school. They have different criteria. So based on what type of scholarship, you have to really do your research before you even apply for any of it, right? So look at eligibility and all that before you apply for it. So scholarship, they are there. So then everybody will see here shortly. A lot of them, a lot. Some of them, I think we should have probably done this scholarship piece in January, because some of the deadlines have passed, but there are still a lot that have deadlines up to July, August, and thereabout. So we'll go ahead and look at some of them. So general requirements for most of these scholarships, employment for scholarship or scholarship for employment, like I talked about, the government is really big about that. Even the corporate side, some companies are big about that. And mostly on the corporate side, what they do is most companies will even sponsor you within the company, right? To go do whatever training, and then you promise to stay with the company for, like whatever years that they are going to put on you, right? So, and then also like the financing part of it varies. Some scholarships are up to like $1,000. Some are up to even 15. Some are up to like $500. Those ones, normally they will give you the cash, right? So, and some of it will require you to send your resume, your cover letter. Some of it, you have to write a little short essay. You have to write a proposal. So, I mean, some of it might look like you have to do too much work, but I don't think for the money you're going to get for, school, that is not going to be too much work if you are really serious about this, right? Because you're not just going to show, and you are not the only one applying for the scholarship. So if they have the scholarship for only 100 people or 50 people, and they require you to write an essay or something, that is what they are going to use to differentiate between who is really serious and who really deserves it, right? So if you put in a really good work and your best foot forward every time, I think you might be able to get a lot of these scholarships. But if you apply for maybe 10 of the $1,000 scholarships and you get half of it, you are going to get 5,000 for school, right? And that is money that can really go towards developing you, and you're going to benefit from it. So the first one that we will look at today is the ISC Square Scholarship. We kind of touched on it last week. ISC Square is one of the certification bodies in cybersecurity. They are the ones who offer CISSP, CCSP, CAB. They have like a whole list, a whole catalog. And now they even came up with an entry-level certification. So they are offering $1,000 to $5,000 for undergraduate and graduate education. And this is the link. We will send the link out. Snort Scholarship. So Snort Scholarship is from Cisco. So Cisco, they are the ones who are pushing this scholarship. And Cisco also has, we will talk about another scholarship scheme that they have as we are moving along. But they award this up to $10,000, right? And it's for college. So this is really for college, not for like a training institute like ours or like boot camps, that kind of IT training institute. This is purely for college. So if you are looking on that side, you can apply for this. The link is there for application. And then this is just the tip of the iceberg for all the scholarships that are out there, right? So we just copied and pasted this on there, but we will send the actual links to all of these. And these, they are by amount, deadline, you know, and when you go to the actual websites, you'll be able to see the, let's say, eligibility, right? And if it is something that you are interested in, okay? So I think they were more than probably like 100 and counting, frankly. So we cannot go through them individually, but this is just something for you to see that there are a lot of scholarships out there. And for whoever was asking about like, are these scholarships for just cybersecurity? When you do go to like the websites that we will show, like we will show everybody later on, those websites are general cybersecurity websites that you can use to search. No, not cybersecurity websites, general scholarship websites that you can use to search and do your research on what scholarships that are good for whatever you are trying to do. But here, because this is the cyber chat, we are just focusing on scholarships for cybersecurity education and training. Okay. And now we will look at cybersecurity scholarships for women. So we will just look at like, this is not by any means all of it. There is a lot out there, but this is just to start the conversation and also point you in the right direction and have you do your own research on it too. So they have the SWSIS scholarship that is up to $10,000 for bachelor's or master's degree program. The ISC2 or ISC squared, they also have scholarships for women. That is also 1,000 to 6,000. Okay, and the links for both of them are on here. Now, still on scholarship for women, we have the VIP scholarship that gives you up to 2,500, and that is towards a 2-year or 4-year degree. The link is also on here. Okay, and now because today is this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, we are going to end with the veterans. So for the veterans, we looked at some of the government scholarships that are out there, and some of it is not necessarily scholarships. If you're a veteran, you earned it. So like the GI Bill, VetTech, they are all ways that you can get. So GI Bill is not limited to just cybersecurity education or IT education. It's for anything and everything. VetTech is strictly for cybersecurity, strictly for IT, not cybersecurity, strictly for IT. And that you cannot take VetTech through a traditional school. So at the end of you taking like any training from a VetTech approved vendor, it is not for a degree or it is not for a diploma. It is for you to gain the skills and knowledge, you know. So for the VetTech program, it's only for institutions like Arithmetic Academy and others, you know, who are not traditional schools, who are, you know, industry schools that are providing the knowledge and skills. So they are the only schools that even qualify to be providers under VetTech, right? So if you're a veteran, you can take a look at VetTech program. For eligibility, you just go online, you fill out your questionnaire, and then they will approve you right there and then. Okay, and then you can search for whatever school is in your area, and then you can enroll in that school. So we looked at that. Now we are looking at the corporate side. What do they have for veterans? So Cisco has a program for veterans, and this program, they are not necessarily going to give you money, but they offer most of their courses to you for free, and their certifications also for free. So this is the link. You just go there, fill in the forms and everything, and then if you check out, they will approve you, and then you'll be able to start studying. Okay. And also AFCEA, they also have a scholarship for veterans, and this is the link for it. I think it's 2,500 for active duty students, active duty service members qualify for it, as well as veterans who were honorably discharged. Okay, so this is the link for it. And then Google also, you know, has their own for veterans. I think even Amazon also has one for veterans. Like the scholarships are so much, like there are so many, you know, like we cannot cover everything. But Amazon has one. I know they have one, but you know, like we didn't put it in here. Okay, so these are the ones that we have for veterans. Now, when we look at states, for each state, they have grants and scholarships for cybersecurity and for other programs. Now, instead of us listening and going through, I mean, we can't do even just for New York State alone, let alone do for every single state. So we will go to the website, like the website for the states scholarships and grants, just look at it briefly. But this is the link to that website, and that you have every state on there. We can select whatever state we want and then take a look at it, right? Now, for the scholarships that we looked at, if you want to go to like any website, like websites that we will recommend that, with no affiliation or whatsoever to them, but they are some of the good websites that you can go and find scholarships. So these are the websites: FastWeb, scholarships.com, Big Future, Sally Main. They are all good places for you to go and do your research on scholarships. So for anybody who is looking for something even outside IT or cybersecurity, when you go here, they have like a whole catalog over there. So you can select and filter what you want. And, so with the scholarships, it's just a matter of you taking the time to go through them individually. There are a lot of scholarships out there that people are not even applying for, right? And when I really chanced on scholarships was when I was doing, I think, my master's. And I chanced on this, like they have like a scholarship book in almost every library. So if you go there, there's like a huge book for scholarships. And you going through the different scholarships. There are so many scholarships. And the one that really surprised me was that there was a scholarship for left-handed people. I'm like, is that even a thing, right? That shows you how much scholarships there are, right? There will be scholarships for people who just love maybe something. I don't know, right? So there are a lot of it out there, but if you don't take the time to really dig in, and you wouldn't be able to find it. So the ones that you are able to find easily, everybody is also able to find easily, and the competition on those ones are going to be very high. Okay. So also, like these are some of the links to. I think like this is like the same one that we talked about. So for most scholarships, most cyber scholarships that we found, most of it are on scholarship.com. They have a whole catalog of scholarships on there, right? So we will end here, and then we will go to the state's website for scholarships, and then we will take a look at that really quick. But for everybody who might want our contact and info, is on here. We're also going to put it in the chat. And if there is any question, you can let me know before we jump into the website for the state's scholarships. For the state's scholarships and grants, this is the site that you can come and find for any state and whichever state, right? So you just go down here and then you select your state. So just going to be a bit biased, select New York. And then it gives me the agencies, so mostly because it's about education, it's going to give you most of the education agencies and adult education and stuff like that. But if you go specifically to grants, so like the first one here is if you want loans, but we are looking at just grants. So grants, it is also going to give you like a whole list. So you have to go through them individually and see which ones that you are eligible for. Okay. So this is a very easy search by any state, you'll be able to find it. Okay. So if there are any questions, you can post it in the chat. And also for everybody who just came in, we were asking of any topics that you might want us to talk about for our next cyber chat, or as we are going along, we are going to add it to our talking points that we can talk about. So if anybody has anything, any questions about subjects that you need us to address, you can also, bring it to the floor, because we wanted to make, this is for everybody, right? So maybe there's something that we are not catching, or something that you really think is going to benefit everybody, you can let us know. So the floor is still open. And then also, if you have any questions, you can put it out for everybody also to hear like what you have to say. And I'm going to post the info in here. So everybody, you can, get in touch with us. For me, you can also link up on LinkedIn, right? So that is going to be the easiest way. And for our interns tomorrow, I'm excited, for our first meeting tomorrow. And please, if you are part of the internship or the workshop, check your emails and check your WhatsApp. We sent out a lot of information today. So please do check it, and then, make sure you have access to all the platforms that we are using. So any comments for the group or any questions? All right. So just as I promised, this is a weekend. Yeah, thank you to Alan. So this is a holiday weekend. I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you very much for your support, and also, developing, striving to develop yourself, gain more knowledge. Like I say every time, if you want to be in this industry, you have to be a student of the industry, right? Nobody knows everything. I don't know everything, right? I also learn. I go to seminars, webinars, just to listen in. I might pick a thing or two. Okay, so I'm really glad everybody who is always showing up every time to learn and learn about the industry, share ideas. I appreciate your time, because mostly on Friday nights you can be anywhere else, especially for this Friday, which is a holiday, like a long weekend. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here. So I really appreciate your time. Everybody from Arithmetic, really appreciate your time. And we will be sending out the links. But before we do, F King 5 has his or her hand up. Please forgive me. That is the name on your Zoom. So that is the name that I see. Please go ahead.
Hey, I want to say hello to everyone first of all, and happy Memorial Day to everyone. My question: I've been on several of these Zoom calls, and I missed my turn on the cybersecurity training. I've been doing it on my own for a year and some change now, but I desperately need to get with you or one of your, somebody to help me, because I'm close, but in my opinion, I'm close. I may not be close in your professional opinion, but I really want to do it, and I've saved some money. I know this is not the platform to say all of this, but I got you now, so I might as well say I saved a little money, and I want to know how I can get with an instructor-led course through you all, so I can get in this field.
Okay.
And I got 10 years of IT background.
Okay, so. Great. So please, let's talk offline, because then we'll be able to pick your brain and see where you're at and see what is going to really help you. But for us, it's not necessarily even about the money. It's about how we'll be able to help you to succeed, right?
Awesome.
It's not, we are not the people who are really going to like chase you around just because of the money, because the relationships that we have with our students and everybody on here is for the long haul. There are so many services that we offer for free that other people are charging, premium for, and they are not even offering anything. So we would love to talk to you. I have my number in there. Please do contact me. Let's talk. I mean, we will discuss everything and anything, and try to help you as much as. So let's talk directly. If you have time, let's talk right after this chat, because I might get into something else.
No problem.
If you call me and I don't pick, I'm definitely going to call you back. Right? That okay. You can be assured of that. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else has anything for the group? All right, everybody. I really appreciate everybody's time, and happy holidays. Long weekend to everybody. We'll meet same time next week on Friday at 7 p.m. So thank you very much. We'll send out the link.
I have one question.
Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I know the internship that start date already passed, for people to still join. I want to know when will be the next one after this one.
So this is gonna run for almost 2 months. So the next one is going to be after the 2 months. So we normally do it like in like cohorts, right? So cohorts, like that group will go through. Once they're done, we'll start a new group.
Okay, sounds good.
All right then. And I think there is a question in here. What is the major difference between taking a program through Erasmus or going through traditional college or university for the bootcamp? Okay, so good question. You know, like some of these universities is now like this question also borders on business, right? So some of these universities, they've seen that people are not coming to take, like people don't have that time to spend 4 years or 5 years or 2 years in college before they can get into the cybersecurity industry. And even at that, you know, once you go through the traditional college, when you finish, you'll still have some, you know, holes in your knowledge and skill, depending on, I mean, if you just go by whatever they are teaching you and you don't get any help elsewhere. But if you come to industry players, like, you know, all these other boot camps that are out there, and example, like Erasmus Inc. Erasmus Academy was born out of Erasmus Inc. Erasmus Inc. is a cybersecurity consulting firm. So in our school, whatever we are doing in the industry, that is what is informing what we are doing in the school. So if you go through a traditional school, right? So like any college to do a boot camp, and reason why I was saying like it borders on business too, is that now they know, because people are not, like they don't either have the money or the luxury of time to go through a 4-year course. So they are also joining the boot camp, you know, arena. So schools are also offering boot camps and certification courses. So now it's kind of, they're also competing, but because they are traditional school, they'll be riding on their name and their goodwill. Hey, we are Harvard. We are offering this cybersecurity risk management course. You know, if you take it, like, and people also buy into it because they are just tagging along with the name Harvard. But in cybersecurity or in IT, whoever is going to employ you, they really care less about what school you went to. What they care about is your knowledge and your skills. Will you be able to help them do what they want you to do? That is what they are really looking for, right? So you have to do your research on that. And then also for schools like us, right? We are very personal. You can get one-on-one help. If you go to a college to do your boot camp or even go to like your traditional school, I mean, most people here have been to college. Once you're done and you get your certificate of completion or your diploma or your degree, that's it. There is no calling your professor back to ask him, hey, I'm going to apply for this job. What should I say on the interview, or how is the interview going to go? There is nothing like that, right? If you do land the job and you're having some issues, you know, you want somebody just to, you know, run your ideas by, how do you do this? This is going on at work. How do I figure it out? You cannot call back your professor at your traditional school, right? So you don't have that personal touch and personal one-on-one, you know, to be able to help you, like somebody just for you to get in touch and, you know, and even like with some of the boot camps that are really huge, same thing, right? You don't really have that personal touch. But for, I can only speak for Erasmus. At Erasmus, I mean, there are a lot of people here who can attest to that, right? If you need the help, if you don't quit on yourself, we are not going to quit on you. And we are going, especially for those who are finished and are looking for jobs. Sometimes we literally have to chase them around and ask them, why are you not applying for jobs? Like, what is going on? Or what did you do? Right? So, but nobody is going to do that for you anywhere. You know, so for us, is that personal touch. That is what makes us different. And also what we are teaching our students, you know, for lack of better words, we are not selling you air, you know, because if whatever we are telling you is a bunch of BS and you get on the job and now you are like, what the heck? What am I doing here? Like what you learned here, like what you're learning at Erasmus, if it doesn't really apply on the job, you will see, you know, and we can only, you know, feed you so much air, because when you get really onto the field or as time goes on, you really figure out and see that what these people were teaching me was not really it. And that is the last thing that we want to do. We want to, so mostly we just go above and beyond, give you too much than you even need for whatever stage that you are at, that, you know, like whatever course that you are taking. So if you are taking a cybersecurity program from scratch, like the entry-level course or intermediate or an advanced course, we always try to go above and beyond. Because the more skills, knowledge that you have, if you have some that is higher than the level you are going to work, it is going to make you look like a rock star, and you'll be able to function in any job, any industry. So that is the difference between, you know, what we are doing and maybe what a traditional school will be doing. And then also pricing for the traditional schools that are doing boot camps. I mean, their prices are way up there, you know, from 25,000 to 19,000, 18,000, right? But for us, I mean, we are pretty much almost doing like a charity job, because even for the entry level program is 4,000, and we have it broken down where you can spread it over 7 months to pay with no interest. It is not really going to be done anyway, right? But our goal here is just to help the community, you know, make more cybersecurity professionals. So that is our main goal. So whatever we have to do to help out, that is what we do, right? So this is the long answer to your very simple question. Your very simple question, okay? All right, everybody, I really appreciate everybody's time. Thank you very much. Please be on the lookout for the email. We send it out with the links. And for the scholarships and grants, it depends on how much you want it. If you put in more time, I bet you there is a scholarship there for you, okay? So thank you very much. There is another one in the chat. Oh, so Dawn is asking for the state scholarships. Do you have to live in the state to be awarded that scholarship? I will say yes. I don't know 100%, but I'll say yes, because they might, you know, want to know for sure that that scholarship for each state. I would think the scholarship is for members of the state, right? So if you have something to prove that you are in that state, then I think they will give it to you. Or maybe they might just be open to everybody. I don't really know, right? So you have to check it out. Just go to their website and you'll be able to find out. But just by using simple logic, I would think scholarships for the state will be for only states, members of the state, but I might be wrong, okay? So I wouldn't be 100% on that, all right? Okay, everybody, any questions, anything, you can shoot me an email, give me a quick call. You know, we're here to help. So any issues that you have pertaining to cybersecurity education and training, yes, we are here to help. Okay, I appreciate everybody's time. Thank you very much. We'll meet next time, same time next week, and then the topics for next week we will push it out maybe probably Monday or Tuesday. Thank you and have a great and wonderful weekend.